Yay, we have some people here. I have no clue how this is gonna work. This is my first stream. I was like, don't know how the chat's gonna work. We'll see. Okay, how's the audio? Whoops. Okay, well, I'm going to assume that the audio is fine. I have it playing on my phone and with an earbud, so I can kind of maybe see if it's okay. I don't know. We'll see. And yeah, I haven't played since the new update, so I'm definitely looking forward to... Where'd it go? The splitters. Oh my gosh, I haven't played in like 2.5 weeks, so I'm like already out the gate. Like, what are my control? What do the controls do? Okay, so it looks like I was in the process of connecting the bus. We have a few things set up. I've got engines and electric engines. Let's see. I know wrapping the bus background is going to be a pain, so I'm probably going to at least try to focus on doing that today. Yeah, and I don't know how this is going to play out with doing this on YouTube. Like I said, YouTube is kind of what I know, so we're just kind of going to kind of go with it for now. And what else do I need? I need some... Hey, I need some splitters. To be good with everything else. Where is my car? Why is my car down here? I'm a little rusty. I should have like cracked the game open before I even like started the stream, but whatever, it is what it is. I know I need to get bots going too. I have some power over here, some additional power, and my kind of main power is here. So for bots, I have bots active. I just need to actually get them going. Alright, well... And I do not have any bots on me. Let's go back and get some bots. Start the process of getting these guys going. So before I kind of took a little break, I did do some testing, not much, but the little bit of testing that I did do was I actually did fully complete the bus. I ended up wrapping everything back around, so I did get to see some of the issues that we're going to end up having. Maybe not all of them, but sure. I also need to test the splitters at some point. I don't know. I'm completely like out of practice on how that's going to end up looking. So with this being my first stream, I don't really have any idea on like some of the stuff that's going on. So I see in my OBS, I see some of the concurrent viewers and I see chat rate, but I don't see any chats. So I'm not sure if I just have the wrong thing up or... Definitely a different beast, I can say that for sure. Something else I did not do, I should have converted my chests, my bot chests over to logistics chests. That way the network can actually continue and I don't have to babysit it as much. Okay, so I need to convert. Where is... I have some chests down here. Let's get these converted. I do not have any on me. Do that one. And then we can take an upgrade planner and change... What do we have? Wooden chests? To... We'll do passive... Nah, we'll do storage for now and I can change everything else over after. Sure. Not have any. Let's see. Radar coverage is... The bots are probably coming from over here, or no bots. Chests, that's what it is. Okay, so I need to figure out the chat situation. Entirely possible no one is chatting. I feel like that's not right. Okay, anyways, these guys can take care of some of that. I have a window open that I assumed the chat would come up in, but I don't see anything, so that's why we have a first stream and test this stuff out, right? So the last time I tested this, I also recall I was able to just skim this through. Yeah, this is just barely gonna make it. There's gonna be some stuff that I have to get rid of in between. Like I'm gonna have to move some of these power poles and some of the pipes and stuff like that. I also need to turn the bus again at some point here. So that's not gonna be a little bit of an issue, but nothing we can't manage. I don't know how much of this I even need in the first place. This is all connected here. So I don't even need these, but I definitely need these. So these are gonna have to shift. Some of these are gonna have to shift. And I'm eventually gonna have a mall section down here too, so that is also going to, we're gonna have to leave this space open. Bring in some extra of my Roboport grid. Alright, so let's move these. Let's see, cut. That one's fine, this one's fine, this one is not fine. Of course I do have some of these on me. There we go. I wasn't going to be able to put the power poles up here, so this is going to be fine just being straight across like this. Look at all this quality build up. So once we get the bus kind of like once we get it wrapped around, a lot of this is going to start to take care of itself. I was able to run it kind of, not quite indefinitely, but for several hours worth of time to just kind of see how it would work, just kind of rotating around, and it seemed fine. Doesn't mean we're not going to have problems with it in the future, but it'll definitely be something we want to continue to look back on. Like, stubbed my toe 30 minutes before the stream started. Yeah, that's always fun. Okay, so I need to make sure to get undergrounds over here. Over here. We're gonna have to do some adjusting on this too. I think I might straighten this out. We're gonna need this space anyways. Think? Yes. Not really. I can still straighten it out. I'm gonna have to move it anyways, so that's not gonna be a big deal. Well. Okay, it's not gonna be that big of a deal. Alright, let's cut this off for now. Let's just say here. And before I get too far with that, I want to make sure that I know where the undergrounds are going, so I do need to get at least... I'll wait till it drains a little bit. I need some more belts. How's our power doing? Bots are not taking up too much, that's fine. That's not what I wanted. I think I want to upgrade to red belts soon too. Like, before we get off this planet, I definitely want to be attempting to start the conversion of everything from yellow belts to red belts. That's going to be pretty expensive. It is what it is. That's like a lot of gears, but it is... I'm not going to say necessary, it's just preferable. The only reason why I consider it to be kind of preferable and almost necessary is I want to have the ability to underground for more than just like 4 spaces, so I don't want to... Like, red belts gives us 6 spaces, so there's at least that. See.
Build a website you love.
Nope. It was not wanted. Okay, so I have chats opened. I thought I'd be able to check. I thought I'd be able to see it through OBS, but I guess not. Alright, so yes, let me just look through these real quick. Hello to everyone. Omega, how's it going? I haven't seen one of your shorts in a while. Hello from Discord, yes. Okay, well at least now I can see chat. Now I just don't know how I'm going to translate that into, whatchamacallit, a usable function. Anyways. What planet will be the hardest with a full quality build? That is almost for sure going to be... If I had to guess, I would say... probably Fulgora. We're already doing Spaghetti on Fulgora anyway, so it, like, maybe not, but... It's either going to be Gleva or Fulgora. Volcanus is... I don't know. Volcanus is not... The problem with Volcanus isn't going to be quality. It's going to be that... probably the lack of quality, because there's so many liquids that you're kind of starting from base, so there's no, like... You know... It's not like we're going to be importing any of our quality from here to Volcanus, but... Pop chat out to put it in a convenient place. That would, certainly be helpful. I don't know. I'll maybe figure that part out later. For now, I've got a second monitor. I've got my wife's computer next to me that I can also see chat on, so not that big of a deal at the moment. I kind of assumed that with, you know, being able to broadcast from OBS and being able to see that there were people chatting, that I'd be able to actually see the chat from here, but whatever. That's just an experience. Eventually I'll be, well, hopefully I'll be streaming on multiple platforms. Twitch and YouTube. Read also in the top right. Pop out chat. There we go. That's way better. Oh, I just removed it. No, I didn't. There it is. Okay. That's much better. Thank you. Alright. So now we're good. Hey, you know what? You learn something new every day, right? Yeah, 30 minutes before I started playing, I stubbed my toe on my desk. Don't ask me how I did that, but ended up breaking a toenail. And I had 4 people screaming in my living room, which was great. So, okay, how's the audio? Like, does it sound fine? Am I too loud? Am I too quiet? Like, how's it going? Ouch. Yeah, alright. I have the mic back a little bit, so hopefully I just don't get too loud. I'll set different noise levels for that for later. Maybe you can just pull my mic back a little bit. Let's see. Sounds clean. Awesome. I don't know if my cat will be joining me at some point, but I don't think it really matters that much. I did some testing with my cat over here, and yeah, it turns out if somebody's sitting next to me, then it takes a bit for them to show up with the background removal. Game is noticeable, but you're very clear. Okay. So if I turn the game down a little bit, is that better? Music can be a little bit louder. Alright, I'll change it back to what it was. Yes, I got a webcam for this. Not a very good one, it's just kind of whatever. Spider just appear on screen. That is not good. Oh, me biter. I see. Actually, speaking of biters, that is actually something I need to check out. I have not visited these turrets since I placed them. I haven't removed some of these extra ones either, so yeah, let's do that. We're gonna go. I need to get some ammo. I don't have any ammo on me. We're gonna get some ammo and go check some of that out. What am I looking? What's something you're looking forward to this run? I don't know. I think just actually managing to complete it. I think there's been a lot of people that have been. There's been a lot of people that have, like, I've had a lot of comments where it's been like, "Oh, good luck with that. We know how this is going to turn out." So far, that hasn't been my experience. It seems mostly fine. What have you guys been saying? Like the cursed or whatever? Yes, this is very cursed. Because like as the quality starts building up, at some point you're gonna have to deal with it, right? So, like in my videos, I've been showing how the copper here has all been, a lot of this stuff has been building up. We've got extra quality really piling up, and part of that is one because we're making quality here, and I was not like the steel coming through. I had the steel was absorbing a lot of the quality and just spitting normal back onto the belt whenever I had these coming down this way. So like basically only normal was coming through the first two belts, and that was causing problems here because there was an imbalance because most of these were normal quality, and then the copper was like, let's say, mostly not normal quality. Or sorry, it was taking the normal quality. So like you can see here, like I've got some, let's call this supply issues, but it's really not. It's a priority issue. I just need to prioritize some of these splitters. But this is also, in my testing, a lot of this kind of worked out, so if anyone can do it, I can. That's a little out there. I've seen some really good quality, like I wouldn't say good quality builds. I've seen people tackle quality without actually seeing like exactly what they're doing. So I'm not gonna say some sense of how to really manage it. I just know that it's at the very least possible. I was a little nervous with doing this without having recyclers, but that's, we're gonna hopefully get to recyclers pretty fast. So yeah, I didn't think quality builds was possible without Fulgora recyclers. I was kind of like, initially I thought, okay, I've got a bit of a time crunch. Like there's only so far I'm going to be able to go on novice before I really start to have quality problems and build up. But so far this has actually been pretty clean. I did not grab ammo and did not go check the biters. Go me. Like I said, so far it's been relatively clean. So they can be placed off planet, yes. I don't know, man. I might have to Use my cat shot collar. Make her come chill out next to me. Oh, she heard it. She heard it. This is just a little cat brush. There she is. We are not going to be able to get this on camera. For her meowing. Her meowing. Yeah, kitty cat loves me. Only I didn't have a messy background and could actually like have you in the shot in my old chair, broken chair. This is how I get you to stay in position, right? Yes, anyone that has cats knows that a good cat brush is very important to keeping a cat happy, right? Yeah? No? Alright, anyways, back to biters. Look at the God of Thunder. So I've mentioned my cats before. Like, I have 3 cats. Oh man, the cat story is just... Cat story is a wild one. So we have 3 cats, and one of them... Okay, so it started out as a cat colony. And the first cat that we'll name we called the first cat Mama Cat. That was my daughter's doing. So we had Mama Cat. Mama Cat got pregnant, and Milky came from Mama Cat's first litter. After that, we decided to try to keep as many of them as we could, and we only ended up keeping 1, but we ended up coaxing the other ones in, bringing them in, got them to kind of get used to us, and then we captured them and took them to the vet, or took them to the pound, sorry. And she ended up getting pregnant at the same time that Mama Cat's second litter happened. I have no idea where I'm going. Where is... There we go. So when Mama Cat's second litter happened, we ended up keeping one of the cats from that one that we named Cal. He is a white cat with black spots. And then, so we have Milky, we have Cal. Oh, it is a good thing I came down here. I do have repair packs. Okay, let's beef this up. So I do not have any walls on me. Ammo, let's... Yes, oh good, I have some of these. That's convenient. Alright. That's just from the expansion waves. Go me, running into stuff. When am I not running into stuff? It's kind of like... I see a tree and I'm like, gotta hit the tree. We're aiming for that tree. So anyways, back to cats. So... Milky got pregnant, and then we had Mama Cat with her second litter. We kept the cat from the second litter, kept the cat from the first litter, and then with Milky, we ended up keeping one of her kids, which we named Bessie. And I gotta say, if you've ever raised kittens, I don't suggest doing it. It's like having 6 babies that you have to take care of, and we ended up getting all of them fixed, but not before Milky was pregnant. Got pregnant 3 times before you were... But, well, our biggest problem wasn't so much that we couldn't get them fixed and neutered, it was that Mama Cat was a vicious feral cat. She, like, anytime somebody got close to her, it was just one of those, like, I ain't getting near that, no thanks. And she ended up having 3 or 4 litters before someone finally caught her. I didn't catch her. We didn't catch her. Someone else across the street. I don't know how they did it. I'm pretty good with cats, and I could not catch her for the life of me. I do not have enough ammo. I need to take some of this back. No, because I only started with 25. Alright, let's see if we can figure out what kind of problem. That one's fine, this is fine. This would have been fine. Okay, well, so far I've only had the one wall issue. You have a black cat in home, and she's the most wild, she has the most wild name a cat, and it's named Cat. Nice. So Milky is black and white. You couldn't see her; she's already gone. Cal is white and black, and then Bessie, the cat that we kept from Milky's litter, is completely black. I call her Mr. Popo. It's a female. I call her Mr. Popo because she is pure black, and she just has these yellow eyes that just like absolutely peer into your soul. You see her down the hallway, and all you see are these just two yellow eyes, and it's just like, oh geez. I also call her Velcro. So I've had a lot of cats in my life, and this is the first time that I've not had them declawed, because it's humane nowadays or whatever. I mean, I personally think it's only humane if you have an outdoor cat. If you have an outdoor cat and you take their claws off, yeah, that's probably a bad thing. They need to be able to defend themselves, but these cats are permanently inside. They live a life of luxury, fattening themselves up multiple times a day, gorging on cat treats, and they don't need their front claws. And you can't see my other desk chair. Like this one, I've got like robes on the back because I'm in Canada and it gets pretty cold, so I've got a window open behind me over here. And once it starts getting chilly, it's pretty warm right now. Declawing is bad, yeah. Once it starts getting chilly, it gets pretty cold in here, so I've got some robes on me. But my chair for now, my squeaky chair, if you remember from, if anyone saw my first guide, my squeaky chair is not going to be very squeaky right now. Alright, whatever. It's fine, but the fabric on my other chair from the cats having claws is completely mangled. My wife is a little bit of a pack rat. She likes to just like, she's a bit of a hoarder, which is why I've got the background kind of blocked out, because I've got a whole bunch of stuff on my table that for like Halloween and stuff coming up. But you would be able to see my other chair. Need to go. Hey, no problem, man. Thanks for tuning in. Studies tomorrow. If you guys haven't seen Omega, he posts a lot of shorts, a lot of Factorio modded content. Be sure to check him out. We've kind of been growing up together. Okay, so I have only touched the south side, so I've only gone down here. Where did I came over here. I did not. Okay, I can wrap back around later. I want to get rid of some of this extra stuff, though. I can't hit any one of these pipes, so I have these pipes that are spawn blocking the biter nests, if you haven't seen like where I'm at and where I'm going with this, but you hit one of those pipes and yeah, that's kind of not good. Well, I mean, it's fine having like ammo and stuff, but if I was doing this without ammo, that would not be cool. Alright, so there's a wall over here, more trees. Yeah, nailing the trees. I should just get a tank. Pretty soon I'm just gonna be rolling through everything. Yeah, it is extremely helpful. That's what you do with your biters too. I mostly like I've never really tried to get the achievement like ever since Space because I think that it's only been around since Space Age came out, right? So, oh hello, did I just miss you? I think I just missed you. It has no kills, no damage dealt. It's just missing ammo. All right, good thing no biters came over this way, and these are fine. So sweet, yeah, no problem, man. Hey, you know what? We can all kind of just stick together. I just lost my car. Where did it go? Am I blind? There it is. Sorry, ears. Oh, my bad. I'm gonna. So okay, I tried to put a suppressor on my mic whenever I first started making videos, and it didn't really work out. Um, it wasn't quite suppressing. I think it was a. It wasn't a suppressor. It was a compressor. So my mouse clicks and keyboard clicks were coming in like a lot louder. Doing the lazy bastard too, yeah. I'm like, oh man, like I think my favorite. Oh, there's some missing ammo. I think one of my favorite things about doing some content creation lately is just how many people have come out and have been like, "Wow, thank you." Like, I really didn't intend on. I mean, I just wanted to make a little bit of a guide. I was watching another streamer and asked if they would think about making more guides. They said no, and I'm like, you know what? I can do a one and done tree. Oh, I dodged it. Oh, well, luck has to run out eventually, right? So a lot of these seem fine. I want to check the north side. We might have some problems. You know, I'm just gonna check them all. I mean, I might as well. I'm already out here, right? So what I'm doing is I'm going through and looking at the ammo. I'm not necessarily looking at the kills. What was I saying earlier? One of my favorite things has been like the people coming out and been like, "Wow, your content really helped me out." I'm like, "Thanks, man." Like, I'm just out here playing a game. Or another one of my favorites is when someone's like, "Hey, that really advanced technique that you just did, you need to show more of that." And I'm like, "Which technique?" I don't know. Or my wife will like read through some of the comments and be like, "Check that one out." I don't respond to all the comments. I try to respond to most of them, but I I know that there's maybe a bit of a language barrier in some situations, and that's perfectly fine. Like I can only speak one language, so I think it's really incredible. Anyone that can speak more than one language, it's very awesome. Sorry, somebody just came home. 1 second. Yeah, not too bad. Okay, where were we? I could use one here, just a little extra. So I'm probably not going to exclusively stream on YouTube. I think I'm going to end up doing both. I'm going to end up doing, I think I said this earlier, I'm going to end up doing both Twitch and YouTube. In the next stream that I have, it'll probably, I'm missing a little bit here, a couple of kills. In the next stream, I think I might do Twitch and then just kind of maybe alternate back and forth from there. We'll see how it goes. Like, I've got 12 people watching now. That's actually way better than I would have expected. Okay, how many more? I covered this section, I covered this section. I did not cover this section. And one last section and then we'll get back to completing the bus. Wrong turn. Yeah, until I can get multi-streaming figured out. I don't know if that's something that, like, I'm assuming that my computer should be able to handle that. Actually, this is so normally when I'm recording, I have to turn off Discord. It seems to be fine, actually. Yeah, a lot of people say that you know, unless you have like a really good computer, streaming on both is kind of difficult. Unless you have certain streaming apps. I don't have the streaming app that they've mentioned. 13, yeah. Which is about what I expected my first YouTube videos to do, so. So I think I told this story in one of my videos, but whenever I first started making videos, okay, let me back up. Before I ever even started making videos, I was a video, you know, consumer like you guys. I was just watching. I would watch a stream every now and then. I'm not gonna mention who. Like, if it was someone that was under me, I would have zero problem. I would love to just shout out anyone that is near me. It's always late for Europeans. Yeah, I know. I'm kind of on your schedule. So I work nights, and for me, I work. So like technically, right now for me, it's 4:30 p.m. I normally work at 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. So when I normally start my stream, it'll probably be right on time for most Europeans. And I promise I always felt really bad, like, having videos come out late. It's, you know, sometimes it is what it is. I had a lot of people saying, like, oh, well, you know what, you need to get them out faster. Maybe you should just schedule them. A lot of my videos, I would post them, like, I would record and post them as, like, that day. So it was a lot more, not like I'm not done with YouTube videos or anything, but I definitely wanted to try streaming, give that a shot. As a matter of fact, the kind of goal is, I think I'm gonna, so instead of continuing on with the specific episodes, for now I'm gonna just stream, and then I'll have the like series recap, and I'll try to do that on like the weekends and stuff, or as I get enough footage. I mean, there's gonna be, you know, some days where I'm gonna need to do other things besides streaming anyways, but this is mostly a test. I wanted to see how this goes. I mean, 12 people watching is, I would say, a pretty good initial test. Most people don't get more than 1 or 2 videos for a first stream. That's, you know, is what it is. You used to do shift work? Streaming and then I could VOD the episodes, yeah. Well, I'm not so much VOD the episodes, because like I am recording this technically, and I believe on YouTube it correct me if I'm wrong, it automatically uploads the live version anyways, so I don't necessarily need to post a VOD. It'll just be there. This is not gonna work. I know there's been some podcasts that I've seen in the past where they mostly just did live uploads. You're just lucky enough to be around right now, yeah. I kind of feel your pain. I have There's a lot of streamers that I used to watch too that I used to enjoy listening to podcasts while I was at work, but the company that I work for recently had a no earbuds policy where, because we have a lot of machines going around all the time, so if we have earbuds in, the idea is you can't hear the machines, which is ridiculous. Like, I would use one earbud so I can still hear out of the other ear. That's not acceptable. I was thinking about even getting. So I'm also a member of the safety, health and safety team at the company that I work for. So I was like, okay, so we can't plug our ears. I get it, but what about the bone conducting headsets? They're like, I mean, is that really fair? And I'm like, yeah, I feel like it's fair. It's still a no. All right, whatever. Be that way. One ear is fine. I 100% agree, and I would, like I said, I would listen to. No, abort. I would listen to various streamers. I would listen to podcasts. I would listen to, like, I used to get a lot of my current events information from podcasts. Not so much anymore. Earplugs for loud machines. Well, they weren't exactly earplugs. They were ear like buds. Now, to be fair, I did use them as earplugs. Like if we had people come into the building that were doing construction, boom, pop those things right in. I'm good to go. But the downside is we work a lot with machines, and I mean that's kind of a cop-out answer on the companies. Like I get it, right? Like if something were to, at the end of the day, like health and safety is all about if this happens and there's this other situation, whose fault is it? Like, it is what it is. If you're working on a construction site and you're not wearing a hard hat, are you gonna like get killed by something? Probably not. But if something falls and hits you in the head and you don't have a hard hat on, why didn't he have the hard hat on? I do not wear earplugs with the... It's not so much that the machines themselves are noisy, it's that we need to be able to hear the noises the machines are producing to be... Let me turn this down. Like, I keep yelling. I need to... I don't know how much this is gonna pick up or not pick up. Okay, how's that? Seems fine on my end. I turned it down a little bit, but... Yeah, so if you're not wearing a hard hat, they're gonna be like, why wasn't he wearing the hard hat? That's the law, or, legal, or whatever, company policy, or... And my argument is, well, I mean, how long before we're wearing full body Kevlar? Technically that's safe, right? That's safer. I can't get cut. There's nothing that will puncture me. Yeah, they don't like that reasoning, let's say. Okay, so I missed. Why did this not... Okay, I don't need this. I do want to connect this over here. That is going to cause problems everywhere. I do not need this. Nope. Maybe just pop one of these guys. Why are you not connected over there? You're not connected over there because it's not. Okay. And then this can go here. More quality in the inventory. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about liability. Turn the game volume down. I have in-game music on. I also have noise canceling headphones, so if there's something going on behind me, I wouldn't be able to hear it. I don't think I have noise canceling on though. Maybe I do. Nope. We're on transparency. I should be able to hear everything. But my wife and kids will be here probably soon. Soon-ish. And that's a lot of noise. Not like the cat's begging for food. They're fine. I think they already got fed. Yeah. So do I need to turn the music up? I love music. Like, I'm a huge fan of music. The music in Factorio is like amazing. I love most of the music on Novice. I'm a huge fan of the music on Gleba and Fulgora. Volcanus is kind of like, nah, whatever. I don't really care for the Volcanus music. It just doesn't sound like anything. I mean, it's fitting, let's say. Like, it fits the atmosphere, but I'm not really a fan. They could have done something a little bit different. You know, I think of music in, like, I'm on Volcanus, and I think of, like, you know, what would Star Wars have sounded like if they were on, you know, Episode 3 in the Lava Planet. I don't think about, like, you know... Nope, abort. And also we can hear the sound effects. Well, let's take a look at... Where do I have my sound? I have my music down. Are you saying the game music, so the game music should be louder? I 100% agree. Like, I would listen to my own music. I would listen to... There's no music. Oh, you mean like my, like, personal music. You don't mean the game music. There are no music. So how's that? Are you saying that you want me to turn the game music up or turn the game music down? I mean, I'm fine either way. That's good there? Okay. I'll wait until after whatever kind of delay there might be. Use those stats. Okay. I need to turn this at some point. We're turning it here. So this is gonna have to go, and this one is gonna have to go. The reason these are gonna have to go is because you cannot turn an underground belt. I want to get this. I want to test out the splitters at some point too. I haven't done any of that. Let's cut this and move it down. Move this over. These two can go. Bit better now? Perfect. I'm good with a bit better. Yeah, man, no problem. I'm here to converse, I'm here to entertain. I'm also here... Okay, another funny story. So, I have two daughters, and my oldest daughter is a little bit of an artist. She likes to... Why am I do not... Okay, hold on, I messed something up here. This was oil? I think I just disconnected something. I did disconnect something at some point. We have turned the alt button off. Go me. Okay, we're good. So I have 2 daughters, and you know how it is nowadays. Like kids, they all want to be influencers. They all want to like, I'm gonna do YouTube for a living. And so part of me doing this wasn't just like, you know, I wanted to help people out. I wanted to, you know, show that maybe there's a different way of doing things. Initially, no. Like I just kind of did what other people do. Since then, I have obviously adapted my own kind of playstyle. But you know, kids these days are like, I want to do YouTube, I want to do this, I want to do that, and so part of it too was I wanted to show my daughter like, this is not easy work. This is not, you know. I would argue that this stream in particular has been quite a bit easier than actually making content. Actually, like not like actually making content, but making the videos. Just because I'm talking to, like, I can at least see chat now, right? So obviously since I started watching chat, I'm a little bit more, you know, responsive and chatty now that I can actually see that people are replying. But you know, it's hard talking to a screen sometimes, and they don't really get that, right? They're just kind of like, I'm just gonna do YouTube. I'm just gonna like, she almost, you know, she does these like little art animations, and it's like, it's good. I can't do it. I'm more musically inclined. She's more artistically inclined, and she's like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And it's like, okay, how about you, like, you know, it's not easy. Let's just put it that way. That is way more than I want to have on here. I did not circuit limit this at all. Why did this transfer into? Oh, because I never had a limit on this one. All right. Well, we're gonna need to clean some of this up anyways. The quality is like, yeah, that's the rough part, is whenever I get quality in the inventory. I had a barrel. Why did I have? Oh, I had a barrel because I unlocked uranium. Another thing that I was going to do is I was just possibly going to use, I think I needed 50. So there's utility science. I needed, what do I need to get the purple? We need railways, we need the red, okay. So then purple. So I was thinking about unlocking purple so that I could get to, from nuclear power to reprocessing, and I needed, there it is, 50. I might handcraft that. I'm not against having science on this planet. I would like to see what it's like having. Okay, not that we're not going to have science on this planet, because obviously we're going to have science on this planet, but just kind of see what it would be like to, you know, create it on mostly Vulcanus. I know that's something that a lot of people do. I've never, like, the last few months I haven't really watched anyone else's content, unfortunately. Okay, not unfortunately, but both fortunately and unfortunately. I didn't want to have, like, I did not need to go this far. Oh, this is fine. We're turning this here. Let me go ahead and turn this before I, like, really start to forget. I didn't want to have anything that I came up with kind of, like, influenced by someone else, outside of the very first thing that I did. The very first thing, I had obvious influences, but the second bit, it was all me. And a lot of people seem to like that way of doing it. It's more belt intensive than maybe like a standard way of doing things, which, you know, it is what it is, but it's also expandable, which is the thing that I wanted to have the most. I wanted to make sure that it was very expandable. Yeah, but showing my kids that, you know, it's not really that easy. Just talking into the void, and then especially editing after. Like, I know it doesn't, like, I don't, for those of you that have seen some of my videos, I don't do a lot of editing, per se. Not necessarily video editing, but I do a lot of audio editing. So I have a microphone here. Normally my microphone is like right up against my face. I changed it around because I knew I would have my webcam. It would be, you know, I have little audio blips every now and then, which I'm not even sure if any of that's coming through. I'll maybe figure that out later, but just little, almost like mechanical sounding situations, and that had to do with the settings that I was using. And so I knew that having the webcam, having the face cam, that would change. Anyways, I also wanted to be able to have the microphone farther back. This is great though, like, I mean, I know I'm kind of chatting to myself most of the time, seemingly, but I don't really talk to too many people at work. Not that I don't care to, but ever since, like, COVID really messed us up. It kind of separated everything, and we're encouraged not that we weren't encouraged, because, like, there's a lot of stuff that we have to do together, but you know how it is. Speaking of COVID and work and stuff, like, what are you... So, I get a lot of time to myself, and I like to think about things every now and then. I just celebrated my 40th birthday last day. Today's the 19th? Yeah. 2 weeks ago? So, now that I'm 40, you start to look at the world a little different, right? Like, you value life a little bit more than you are when you're 18. And I do a lot of thinking while I'm at work because I don't really, you know, have too many people to talk to. And I was thinking about it, I was like, okay, so our AI overlords are on their way, right? Like, what do you, any of you, the viewers, chat, what do you think that your job is going to look like in the next 5 years, 10 years, 30 years? 44, yeah. Whenever I first started working at the place that I'm working at now, I thought I would be one of the... This was 10 years ago. I thought I would be one of the oldest people, and I was the youngest. It was like... Yeah, I'm the youngest person here. Great. Like, what do you think your job is going to look like in a few years? I know me personally, like, I will be replaced pretty fast. That much I know. Maybe not as fast as other people that I work with. I have a little bit of job security, thankfully. So I saw a video the other day. The reason why I ask is because I saw a video the other day where, in the States, I think it was Bernie Sanders was talking about how in the next... Oh, that's bad. We do not want this. We want to either need these to go under or I need these to go under. It doesn't look like anything crossed over, so nothing was contaminated yet. And caregiving... Well, that's funny because I would assume that healthcare workers are probably one of the first ones to be replaced. One, for the cost, and two, because... I mean, I know everybody's different. Like, basically completely. And I learned that, not that I learned that, but you pick up on that when you have... when you can really start dissecting different flavors. So I used to smoke. Shame on me, I know. And then whenever I started vaping, which, you know, I've done for the last 6 years, the differences in, like, people's taste buds is absolutely insane. And if the differences in the taste buds are that much different, it's like, what else is different? Like, you know, for the most part, the human body is going to be the same. mostly. But I would think that, you know... Oh, okay. Okay, so that's a little bit different. People risk having machines take care of their vulnerable relatives. Yeah, I guess not. That is, sorry, I thought I was thinking more like healthcare, more like medical, like maybe a pharmacy or a hospital. But you know, at-home healthcare or you know, in assisted living, I could definitely see that being humans a lot longer. Just because, yeah, you wouldn't want a. I mean, okay, let's be honest. Like the way that they design robots, it's not like every single one of them is going to be an upright humanoid. In the next 5 to 10 years, I think it's in, was it Germany or one of the Scandinavian countries? They're working on, as an example. Hold on, I gotta take this earbud out. They're working on external wombs. So like you can grow your own baby, as an example. And you know, that's one area where a robot is going to be doing the work of a biological female. You'd think that, you know, you need a little bit more care than being able to just supplement nutrients. I mean, and I had this conversation with my mother the other day. Like, what does that look like? Like, you know, some of the vital things for child development are like being able to hear the sounds of the parents when they're in the womb, as an example, or you know, stuff like that. But you can, that's way off in the future. I'm pretty sure it's not. I know they've done, I mean, maybe I could be wrong, but I've seen that they've, which will limit, let's see. AI as a tool to be used. So that's my biggest argument too. I think of it like a calculator, right? Like a phone book. Like we don't carry phone books anymore. We don't have to remember, like I don't have to remember what my daughter's phone number is. The human brain doesn't work like that. We don't have to remember these things. Or we don't listen, not that we don't have to. We don't remember these things if we don't have to. So AI is just going to be another tool. I mean, but then you have to wonder, like, if you can just like look up, like, let's say that I can just go to ChatGPT and Grok and just, I can look up whatever I want. Like, at some point, humans have to be able to give back to that system, right? Like, it can't just be 100% AI. Like, my daughter wants to do artistic stuff, artwork. At some point, maybe art and stuff will be taken over by AI. It's like, okay, so then what is she going to do if she's maybe not doing art? And not saying that all art will be completely taken over by AI, because like I said, you're going to have to interject some kind of additional things here and there, but AI today is a great search engine. Yeah, that's fair. AI of the future, though, gonna be a little bit different. So I need this to go through the top side because this still needs to go underground and merge with this. So now we're gonna get into some of the, like, how do we merge these together? We've already seen some of that merging with the top lane up here, like merging iron with iron and some of this, but we're really gonna have to, like, this fiasco here was, let's say, successful, manageable. I'm gonna run out of belts before I finish all this, though. This is gonna be moved up one. Not a replacement for the worker. For now, I think. I think you're right. Like, the video that I saw with like I said, I think it was Bernie Sanders. He basically was saying that in the next, I mean, and I'm not saying that he's necessarily right, but in the next 20 to 30 years, 150 jobs in the US could be replaced by robots and machines. And there's like, I don't know, less than 180 million. Did I say million? I meant million. 150 million versus, let's say, 160 to 180 million out of 350 million people. That doesn't sound right. I need to get rid of some of this copper. Coal. Everything is copper. Let's see, just skim some of this off. I don't like putting the quality. So this is the hard part with the quality, right? Is we have, right now, 3 different layers of quality, but, you know, basically eventually 5 layers of quality. Okay, whatever. It's good enough for now. Did I not have, so this, it's been so long since, it's been 3 weeks since I last played, and I had my little list here. I removed the list, and now I don't remember what I had here. This was a wild card. I didn't need this to be anything. LDS was up here with the... There's LDS. I guess I just didn't have anything on that line for now. Nope, guess not. Yeah, that was just nothing line for now. Problem is with AI, who owns it? Yeah, and what is it being used for? I agree, that is another problem. So, some people are of the opinion that all jobs are going to be gone with AI, but at the same time, unless you have some kind of, like, UBI, what does it matter, like, if you're paying not paying robots, but, like, let's say that, you know, someone owns all the AI and all the robots, let's say like an Elon Musk character, nobody's buying, right? Like, people have to have money to be able to purchase, so at some point, the masses, those of us, you know, that aren't making billions or millions of dollars a year, are gonna have either no buying power or at least diminished. Oh, that is not right. What am I doing? This is supposed to be here. Abort! Abort! Cut it off! I did that on purpose. I'm just kidding. Capitalism is a failing system? Maybe. I think long term that's possibly right, but capitalism at the moment is the best thing that we have. Bro. Do I have the inventory to sustain that? The answer is no, I do not. Let's need to do more. Okay, let me just do one line. Make sure we get this right. There! There we go. So that's right. Still not correct, down one. I'm good here. I am good here. This gap is misleading. This is accurate. So, okay, sorry. There's a delay. My bad. Yes, so... you are correct on what I just had. That's another funny thing about making videos is, like, Oh man, and another reason why I love this game, like it's so complicated at times, and people just call you out on stuff that, and you look at it and you're like, okay, yeah, I totally screwed that one up, whatever. But I missed on this one. Oh, come on. Nope, we're good. That's gonna be, okay, that's gonna be fine. When the system is greed, who cares about people suffering? Yeah, well, if you have no one to... What is humanity without people to share it with? You know, someone like a billionaire Elon Musk character could just completely, you know, remove the need for humans. What is that? What benefit is that to them? You know, I have this conversation whenever it comes to like taxes and stuff too. It's like governments could not, you know, not without disrupting the masses, but they could tax you 100% and then say we're gonna take care of everything that you need to have. But like if you take 100% of everything from the people, like who's really benefiting here? It's just funny though to think about, like, you know, we're playing a factory automation game at the moment, right? To think about, like, what is the future going to look like? What is my current... Just talked about how we did this fine. What is my current setup going to look like? So this is... I need to merge these. This one seems to have merged fine. This one is going to be... like that. Hold on. This is merging. Oh, I see. I did a little bit of like a leapfrog. So wait a minute. Which ones did I merge? Where? Okay, so this one comes down. This one did the first two lanes. Okay, I'm just gonna make this work with the bottom lanes. So this one then needs to go. So this here, and then this will be like. I'm just gonna do it here. No, I can't. Yeah, I can. I mean, I don't like it, but it is what it is. Ideally, I would have had these two kind of shifted up in the middle. I can't talk about I can talk about capitalism all day long, just not in chat. If you're interested in learning about other systems than capitalism, join a book club that meets online. Interesting. I don't know. I think that if you had a different version from capitalism, it would probably be... Okay, so the hard part is, I would say, maybe requiring... Like, people don't have a right to your physical labor, I would say, which is where capitalism, you know, you trade goods and services for currency. like as an example, like I live in Canada, right? So I've seen I've seen the good and the bad from both Canada and the US. Now, to be fair, the US's system is pretty broken whenever it comes to medical, but I would argue that the free healthcare system of Canada is equally broken. My wife and daughter went to the emergency room the other day for like, it was nothing serious, it was just a nothing. And not that it wasn't serious, it was something that, you know, needed attention, but I would say maybe it wasn't that much of an emergency, but there's no like clinics or anything open, and they were sitting there, and it was like an 8-hour wait, and it's like, okay. Whereas I could go to like my hometown in Georgia and go to the hospital and be out in 30 minutes, but I would pay for it. I've heard that Australia actually has a pretty good way of doing it. They have like a both system. They have like a free healthcare, but you can pay to expedite your like the process or something. I don't know. I mean, that's just, you know, a small example, but we'll dodge the bots. Right. We are still missing roboports. The roboports are going to be very, very slow. Ah! We're just trickling in the red circuits here, which are needed by the roboports. Good quality. Okay, so we are almost done completing the bus. Still not gonna have enough belts for this. It is what it is. I mean, I think it's like, even to kind of like go back to that conversation, I think it's pretty obvious I'm very anti-bot. Like, I am manually placing every single one of these. I'm just kidding. Our robot overlords are coming. There is a bit of a bottleneck. So we're producing, yeah, I think it's 0.25, no, 0.12 per. It's very tight. I'm making as many red circuits as I can for the most part. So in this amount of space. So each one of these is consuming 0.25 plastic per second and 0.25 green circuits per second, which is the major bottleneck. The copper cables that we're making are producing exactly what we need in theory, but we're only producing, so we're producing 3 per second of the green circuits, which is why these are up, and we're producing 2 per second of the plastic. So that covers these 2 machines and these 6 machines. That's all of our plastic being consumed. I mean, obviously there's plastic on the line, but that's, you know, it's because we're making exactly the amount of copper cables here. And I'm perfectly fine with this little bit of a bottleneck. Like, if you were to go back and watch my starter base tutorial, I don't know if I did it in the video, but I made this one a yellow inserter, and I think at one point I even turned this off because this thing will just eat all the red circuits. So I definitely limited the amount of roboports that I would have, in favor of allowing it to go through the blue circuits. And this was literally just like, I just wanted to have blue circuits, or sorry, blue science. Not so much that I needed them to be like active all the time. We obviously need a lot more red circuits than that if we're going to keep up with anything. And this is a small, I would say this is not a small, this should be 60, 72. Did I double? Hold on. Where's my output? I did not double this up. Okay, anyways. That's way more than we can manage on yellow belts, whatever. So I'll probably put too much on that. But I did kind of plan on maybe adding in... Because normally I have a lot more green circuits. Oh, that's why. Because of quality. I had a whole quality section. So then this would be... let's say there. So I was aiming for 60. And 60 is what we need for red belts. Right? Yes. No. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I normally double this up. I normally have 60... and then 60, and then double it up. Yeah, that's fair. Chucking speed modules into the... So I've been mostly not using other modules besides quality modules. Oh my gosh, did I even like put quality modules and everything? I did, okay. Even in... Yes. Well, because the machine itself is producing 3 per second, and these each need 0.5 per second, so that's 6 of these for one machine. And then I'm kind of eating off of the green circuit, the copper cables here making green circuits. They're kind of leaching off to make these red circuits. So I'm not necessarily limited by the copper cables. I mean, yeah, to a degree, sure. I think I just unlocked the ability to make them, so I just need some red circuits and we can kind of just look at that. This won't necessarily speed up my red circuit production. Maybe if... What if I just did... Tell you what, let's do this. So I don't need this to go anymore. This is fine. So then the red circuits can back up. So I can take this. That is not gonna... Right. So if we branch this down this way, nope, I'm just gonna leave it like it was. We can do something like that. That'll beef it up just a little bit. Yeah, it gets the job done. That's kind of like... I only needed blue circuits. I only needed blue science to go so far. Yeah. Oh man. I'm so used to playing with red belts at this point. Like, I'm a huge fan of upgrading early. It's really expensive though, and I knew that... Like, before I even started this playthrough, I knew I would have this, like, massive bus. So I knew I would have, like, triple the amount of belt work that I would normally have. I very much enjoy the red belts, especially for underground belts. I just, like, you know, you have different types of players, right? You've got the people that, you know, if you were playing like Satisfactory as an example, so you've got belts that move 30 items per minute, you've got belts that move 60, 120, 240, and you've got people that'll only use, like, they'll branch off. If you only need 30 per second, they'll make the belts like that only move 30 per minute. So you've got those types of players. Me personally, I would just rather have the fastest. I just wanted to get there, and I don't want to have to carry like 8 different kinds of belts on me. Just one belt. Once I upgrade, that's it. I'm just using the new ones. But I do prefer to, like, that's what this slot is here. Normally by this point I would have red underground belts, red belts here, and red splitters here. Just you know, been feeding off of the second gear line. I've got all of these gears that were, I literally designed this specifically to be able to feed the red circuit, or the red underground belts and the red belts and the red splitters, as well as the, what do we need? Copper? No. Yes, gears, 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 yeah, and green circuits. Green circuits I get from over here. So that's normally how I have this set up, but I knew it would be, like, because I was largely playing on default settings and not, like, beefing stuff up, I knew that I would be running out of my starter materials. As you can see, they're, like, basically depleted, and I had to feed in some extra iron ore. I knew I would be depleting them very fast, but I decided I'm not going to worry about upgrading to reds anytime soon. Look at this. This is kind of the start of what the quality will end up looking like. I don't like the okay, I mean, we're gonna have stuttering, obviously. I need to prioritize these. So let's get this finished, and I'm gonna have to nitpick all of the splitters. That's another thing that I forgot to do, is I forgot to check out the new splitter changes. I don't, unless I can specifically tell the splitters it would be really neat if I could tell them, like, hey, I need green quality and I want you to only send green quality through for now until I don't need it anymore. I haven't looked at any of those changes though. Or, I don't know, like I don't know. I haven't fiddled around with it at all. Okay, so I want to prioritize, so I don't want anything else coming onto these lines unless I already have, unless I have space for it. So I want to prioritize these lines. So I want to prioritize, let's input priority right on this one, input priority left on this one. Now these are just going to keep flowing through, and these are only going to add to it when these are short. And we're going to need to do the same thing for, I mean, all of these. This is going to be input priority left. This is going to be input priority left. Missed it. Okay, so these are already set up for input priority left. These are not connected at all. I don't know whose fault that is. This is gonna have to move. I can just remove the power poles down here. Still not gonna have enough belts for this. Not even close, baby. Let's see. A little bit of a waste of undergrounds, but you know what? It is what it is. Put priority left there. We're gonna have to do all of that for all of these. Okay, so this one is already set up. This one's fine. I still need to input priority this one. Alright, I'm gonna try to use some bots. I believe I have them, so I think I can mostly, yeah, let's do that for now. So I still need to go to where these are gonna be merging and input priority left. So that's gonna input priority left. I don't think I'm going to do it on the returning materials. I guess maybe in a normal situation I would have an output priority on these, but I don't think that I'm going to worry too much about it. If it becomes a problem, we will definitely go back through. So the downside of having a priority output is eventually it gets to the point where, like you can see down here, you're kind of like consuming all of certain belts, and then there's nothing. Now, I normally like to compress my belts, but I know I have been doing a bit of that here, compressing them upwards, but I kind of thought about it after, and I was like, I don't know if I really want to do that. I need to get train stuff added. The starter base don't play fast enough. I'm the same way. Like I'm not necessarily the fastest player. I like to take my time and really like think about things. Maybe not as far out as I should, but now we just need to worry about the stuff coming in. Input priority left. This is still left. Not wrapped back around. Yeah, like I said, a bit of a waste of underground belts, but fine. That's just it on default and run out too quickly, yeah. I normally like to... Okay, so... I normally like to beef up my settings just a little bit. Like... Maybe a little bit on the rich... I like the richness. I definitely like the size of the patches to be bigger, because the more miners that you can place on a patch, the kind of like better your throughput will be, right? Like without like cheating that much. It's still cheating because even though it makes the patches bigger, it makes them. It's not like it spreads those materials out. When you make the patches bigger, it is technically adding more to it, but I prefer to like spread them out a little bit, and then up the richness a bit, and that gets us to the ability to use red belts. With this one though, I was like, okay, I got called out on one of the videos that I made. It was like an episode 0 or something where I was just going through and like just, you know, kind of setting up the map, and they were like, oh, this is way too cheaty for me, and I was like, alright, I guess. I think I might have like turned biter expansion off too. Maybe that was the part. I don't know. I guess as long as it doesn't turn the achievements off, then I'm probably fine with, like, I don't really care. I kind of wish that I'd turned some of the settings up for this one, but, you know, it is what it is. We're on default, for better or worse. So that's most of what I need. I should, bots are very slowly going to take care of things. Not that, you know, not that I really care to think about trains right now, but at some point, once we get off of, or once we get to Volcanus, yeah, you know, biters to me, it's just not something that I really care that much about. Like, it can be a little fun. So like, in Satisfactory, when you're like walking around, you're slamming, you know, the boars and the different stuff. Like, okay, sure, you know, it takes a bit of time for them to respawn. not a big deal. You need their materials anyways. Dyson Sphere program, there's a huge incentive to like actually attack them and literally farm them. With biters, it's just like there's no like I don't know, they're just in the way for me. Wall blocking is perfectly fine, especially like I wasn't really I have a bit of stone. I've got some. No, I was short on stone. Yeah, so I've got a lot of iron up here. I've got iron ore here, here. Some over here. Well, mostly went with iron. Mostly went with the pipes because of that. But yeah, you can definitely use the stone, turn them into walls. Maybe around. It's probably around the same cost, I would say. I mean, I guess just in general, you don't use that much stone anyways. Your quality play is train based. Yeah, I was thinking about doing a train based play as well, but I was like, all right, if I'm already doing like this playthrough is pretty cooked. Let's just be honest. Like, if I didn't have to worry about the biters expanding, if I didn't have to worry about not destroying the biter nests, if I didn't have to worry about the quality, if I didn't have to worry about the lack of resources, if I didn't, you know, the list just keeps going on and on. I was like, okay, I'm not even gonna worry about trains right now. Like, I would absolutely love to do a train-based playthrough where you've got like I can picture like a bus with like just trains running right through it, you know, with the elevated rails and stuff. I'm like, that would be so freaking cool. Or to have like builds that just, you know, you're building around like a set of trains, elevated rails and stuff. Main thing that let's see. You got blue science back online. Quality models is scrapped first. Favorite trains, yeah. Main thing that changed is shutting off cliffs. That was another one, right? Like, the cliffs really kicked me in the rear once I got over here. Just finding a large opening where I could actually have this work out. Like, and to be fair, whenever I started planning this out, I wasn't like, it was kind of, okay, am I even going to be able to make it? I wasn't sure I'd be able to get everything that I wanted off of this. You were doing the sushi style for quality. That's maybe another thing that I'm like, there's so many like circuit conditions that you'd have to like manage to be able to get quality working with trains, which is a problem that we're going to have anyways once we start getting into rockets. So that's going to be an interesting, I don't know, we'll see how it goes. Interesting dilemmas, right? Hey, maybe okay, so my plan for streaming is I'm going to continue this quality playthrough. Unless there was, you know, for some reason people just really wanted me to start over. I don't know, you know. People tend to like watching more complicated stuff. Even though, I mean, let's be honest, all I've really done in this is I checked the biters and I finished the bus. I didn't really do anything substantial, right? Thought we were on the bottom. I'm like, every single one of these is backwards. Okay, we're good. Yeah, I mean, I haven't really accomplished that much, let's say. Next thing to tackle is going to be, I want to make a bus. Not a bus. I want to make a kind of shopping mall down here. That's going to be a big problem. Like, many problem. If you do this quality playthrough, it's hard in the style you're doing. It's something I want to see because I feel like it can work without jamming. So that's the thing that, like, that's the big thing for me, right? Is, like, I had people argue with me when I was making a quality upcycler. They're like, it's gonna jam. It's 100% gonna jam. It always jams. I played for the last playthrough that I had I want to say that I had this quality upcycler for, I think I let it run for like 150 hours and it never once even came close to jamming. It was perfectly fine. And it had all kinds of quality mixed in. Okay, it didn't quite, I wouldn't say that it like didn't jam. It was more like it was constantly functioning the way, and it would like filter through itself, right? So it never like stopped working unless I had certain circuit conditions that told it to stop working. For instance, when I got to where's that at? Did I put that all the way down here? Really? Nope. Abort. Abort. I don't know. I have a bad habit of getting rid of some of my stuff. This one. Plot mall. Upcyclers. There we go. So for instance, with my upcycler, there were, yeah, let's just fix, sure. So there would be situations where like on this upcycler, if it had like a lot of materials, this would get clogged up a little bit, but it's not like it ever stopped working. And then anytime I had a special circuit condition, so like here, I don't want this to continue to work unless it has 1,000. Like once this chest gets to 1,000, everybody can stop working. And those are the only times that I ever had a situation where it like actually stopped functioning. And I even have like ideas on like expanding this too. Like I want to have possibly a some kind of like combinator down here that's doing additional tasks. That because the biggest problem that I was gonna have with this was, okay, I get to 1,000 blue quality and it stops functioning. What makes it start functioning again once I unlock purple quality? That was like kind of one of the biggest things that I was going to struggle with. I mean, but I never got to that point, so it was fine. Like it was never an issue. Had upcycling for your quality, for your, sorry, productivity module 3, and it worked fine. Had to babysit sometimes, but that was, yeah, the babysitting, you know, the buyer eggs are kind of a pain in the butt. The bioflux, yeah. What did I do with that? I think I had a sit. I can see how in theory it would jam, but I never even came close. I would have to, so okay, like to give you an idea, for this contraption right here that I made, for this to actually fully jam to the point where it's like no longer functionable, I would have to have like all of my storage would have to be completely full. I wouldn't be able to fit anything else in these chests, because every single one of these is filtering for a very specific amount of ingredients. So if the ingredients got too high, these would start to be filtered out, and they would be filtered out into the yellow chests. And then same with these. Like these are, this is a requester, not that one, this one. These are buffer chests, so I had it so that once it got to a certain limit, it would stop. So the only potential jamming that I could have gotten was if these chests were so full of these items, and the overflow for the, I need to get rid of this, and the overflow for these was just so filled. Yeah, it was never going to be an issue for me. Oh, did it? Let me guess. LDS. No, not LDS. You probably had too much, either Homium or LDS. If I had to guess, I'd say LDS. Oh my gosh, these bots are so slow. I love the early game bots. They're just like, me. Like watching grass grow. It was circuits. Interesting. I don't think that I ever came close to having a problem with circuits. I think I had too many green. Nope. Yeah, I never even came close to circuits. My problem, I think the biggest problem that I had was LBS. And that's probably not so much a production problem as much as it is a consumption problem. Turned off your modular build because you had too many. Okay, yeah, that's fair. Okay, so this is where we're gonna have a mall. This is gonna be fun. The mall's not gonna be like it's not gonna be a complete mall. So over here I have this is normal engine units. So I have normal engine units being crafted over here. They're going onto this belt. They are being circuit limited by these combinators, which basically just say, hey, if there's a certain amount on the belts, then you can stop functioning. So this is waiting for resources. These should be disabled. Maybe not. Whatever. These should be disabled. These are disabled because we have more than 800 of the engines on this belt loop. And then these belts are feeding into the electric. Mall would be in the center, so I've toyed with this idea, right? I had all of this space in the middle, two Roboport grids worth. Everything's gonna loop back around at some point, so having access from both sides is less of an issue than. Okay, because I'm not really done filling all of this out either. So whenever I was doing my testing 2 weeks ago, my initial thinking was that I would do something similar to this. So I have all these combinators hooked up to read the contents of the belt here. So I was thinking about it and I was like, okay, so if I really had to, I could circuit limit every single item going onto the bus if I just absolutely needed to. And then, you know, if I had too many quality copper plates or too many quality steel, I could limit the amount of steel being pulled from the furnaces and not have it go in, if that makes any sense. But to be able to do that, you have all of these splitters in the way. Now, I don't know how, again, I haven't really tested the new splitter changes, so I don't know. I'm assuming that, sorry, I have families back. Okay, I don't remember what I was saying, but I haven't. So I don't know if the new. I'm assuming that the new splitter changes. You still can't like read all the way through. You can read through the underground belts, but you can't read through the splitters. I would have to have connected them all at some point to be able to transfer it all. Hey to the fam? Yes, fam is here. Fam is trying to be quiet. They, okay. Yes, hi to the fam. Just popping in to say hi. Hey, thanks for popping in to say hi. Frequent commenter. Love it. I mean, my mic is sensitive, but I don't know. Okay, so like I said, I haven't done any of the splitter testing. You know what? Let's do that now. So I'm gonna save this. Sure, why not? And then we're gonna enable editor. So I haven't done any of this yet. Here we go. Okay, so to be able to test in editor, I need this to be active. So I've got splitter. I know I'm probably like way behind on this. A lot of people have already done some testing, I'm sure. Got a family dinner, popping in to say hi as well. Sweet. It's like, tell me what part of the world you're from without telling me what part of the world you're from. I'm just kidding. Thanks for checking it out and figuring it out. Yeah, like I said, I have had zero. I know like nothing. I don't know. All I know is that it can be connected. Let's see. So what are our options? So this is input and output. Set filter. So that's if okay, so first off, let's just get this out of the way. Hold all belts. Okay, so it is still blocked. Splitters are still blocked. That is perfectly fine. To be able to do more, you need to hold on in this direction. Do I have any items? You can see that that's registering as 5 splitters. 14, 13, 12. That has not connected. Need to complete the circuit this way. That just cancel each other out. Wait, what? I am messing up basic mechanics. Okay, this was hold all, read. I'm an idiot. Okay, no, they went into the splitter. All right. Okay, so there's our 12. Jeez. 16. So that works. Now I need to, let's try, so read the contents. I'm not gonna hold all, I just wanna know what is in here and can it set the filter of this? Yes. Would have robbed me? Yeah. So, still not really sure how I'm gonna be able to use this though. So it would be something like signal O. Hold on. So if it would have to be like, okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna find a use for this. So that just set the filter permanently. O is greater than no. And that's an enable situation. Wait, what? Oh, right. So if I could make this spit out quality on one side. Wild card and you read the belt right before it enters to change the splitter direction the splitter goes. So let's say that I had... No, I can do that on the tower. So if I converted quality into a number, that doesn't... I feel like I don't know. I think the biggest function that I'm going to be able to have with this is just the fact that you can actually connect a wire. I don't even think the contents really matter that much. I mean, for me anyways, for this playthrough. I feel like I would have to do so much more, like, fiddling around with this. Looks like it just made it so that the splitting tools are now programmable, but better. I think if I had to guess, I would say the set filters maybe one of the best potential aspects of it. I wish like this wouldn't work, but right side, no. Anyways. Yeah. I feel like I don't even care that I would be able to use this for anything. If I could maybe set it up in a way that used a constant combinator, yeah. But I would need to be able to bring, like, track, like, what is coming down or what I would need. I think for now, I think maybe just the ability to chain it is where I'm at. Anyways, okay, so I've been streaming for 2 hours and 15 minutes now. I need to get some sleep. So, thank you all for joining my first stream. It was a short one, obviously, but I do plan on doing some more stuff in the future, like outside of just Factorio. Oh, for sure. Like, I mean, if you think about it, like Factorio, we've had this game for what, 13 years now? More than that. It's probably been, what was it, 2012, I think, when they started working on it. 2000, I don't know. So let's just say 10 to 12, 10 to 12, 13 years, something, right? I mean, there's still stuff that we're figuring out that this is a complicated game. There wouldn't be that much, there wouldn't be that much of a demand for people trying to learn what to do and what not to do if this wasn't a complicated game. I play a different game. Like whenever I play like Satisfactory and Dyson Sphere Program, I'm just like, man, there's just no complexity to these games. Like they're just not that mentally demanding at all. And I love that about Factorio, right? Like to me, it's kind of like keeps you on your toes, right? So like the older I get, the more I'm like, okay, now I've really got to think about things. Start thinking about things and how you're gonna set things up. Oh, and that's crazy stuff too. Like when you start like looking into, and I don't look into it that much because I'm not, I don't really mega base that much, but looking at how much, like the differences between, like using a red inserter versus like a splitter for certain things, and you start like micromanaging all of those. Yeah, that gets crazy. Can't do the 3D games without getting sick. That's understandable. Just like, what is it, the isometric view is. Okay, well, like I said, that's going to be it for me. Obviously, I kind of started out a little rough with me trying to figure out where my chat was. I think in the next, I think tomorrow I'm gonna try to stream. What's today? I don't even know what's today. Sunday. Yeah, I think tomorrow maybe I'm gonna try to stream on Twitch a little bit. At some point, I'm gonna try to figure out like, okay, how am I gonna be able to dual stream? There's a couple of Havoc Nasty has been going hardcore with UPS optimizations. Yeah, I don't claim to be the smartest by any means. I just like to play the game, and some of those guys are crazy awesome. And it's fun to watch too. I mean, okay, it's, sometimes it's fun to watch. Let's say, um, was he the one? I think it was Avic Nasty that came up with the train unloading. I don't know, something like that. I think he's the one that figured out. Was that him or was that? No, that might have been someone else. That figured out the best way to unload a train was like this. I don't know. Like I said, I don't watch Factorio content that often. Which is unfortunate. Like before I started making content for it, I used to go into people's streams all the time, and I would like try to find the low end streamers, the people that didn't have a clue what they were doing. Not give them advice or anything, like not be a backseat player, but just try to like see like, okay, well, what are they struggling with? Like, where are the problems? Yeah. It was one of the good content creators, doesn't have a lot of following, but is getting there type of things. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. I think we got up to like 15 people, which is about, I don't know, 14 and a half more than I was expecting. So I would call that a success. I'm gonna get it out of editor mode. Did I save it? I did. Good. Don't want to save that editor mode. Okay, yeah, I will. I'll be back on tomorrow. You love those streams? Yeah. I think my favorite streams are just the ones that I can, I don't know, listen to in the background that I don't necessarily have to watch. Okay,